Our next guest is all about helping people achieve empowering breakthroughs and transforming their perspectives. She also aims to level the playing field and enable entrepreneurs to thrive in the age of e-commerce. Joining us now is business and mindset coach Patti Mara. Good morning.
Good morning, Jessica. Thank you for having me on your show.
Of course, this is wonderful. So Patti, I like to dive right on in. So talk to us about your coaching program.
Thank you. I so appreciate it. So let me start by saying I wrote a book that was published a couple of years ago. It's called Up Solutions, Turning Teams into Heroes and Customers into Raving Fans.
Wonderful.
And from that, I created the Up Solutions Team Success Training. So I help independent business owners. I like to say I'm a passionate advocate for locally owned businesses. But I find they often aren't playing the right game of business. They're trying to compete with the big chains.
Yes.
And so I help them position for success in their business and then empower their team so they understand their role and how they get to have an impact every day.
Wow, I think that's wonderful. And so you really have a passion for the smaller business.
I do.
Wonderful. What are some of those, let's say, practices or tools that you give them and you say, hey, this is, because where is that divide in terms of what you're seeing where they're not as successful? What are those areas, and then how do you give them those practical tools?
Oh, perfect. So I would start with mindsets. We always start with mindsets. And actually the first 3 chapters in my book are all the mindsets to set up to win. And the first one is really embracing the opportunity and change. I find a lot of times, what is the saying? When one door closes, another door opens. But we spend so much time upset about the closed door that we're not turning around and saying, wait a second, we can do this now.
Yes.
So crisis interrupts all patterns. And when we deal with crisis, we actually start reevaluating things that may not be working for us anymore, but it's working enough that we're not looking at them. So the opportunity and change, value proposition. I find most business owners and their teams talk about, they describe when they talk about their business what they sell. And I think what they sell is a vehicle. That's how they deliver value, but their business is the value they provide. So a car mechanic with a garage, they're providing, people with confidence driving their cars.
Right.
Right? It's not just fixing them.
Yes.
So shifting how you think about your business and being very clear about why your customers are choosing you, because they're choosing you for value. They can go anywhere for the product.
Right.
So that's the second one. The third one is that it's all about the customer. The rule of thumb, I like to say, customers don't even know the questions to ask to make an effective decision. And so if you're paying attention to that, it's often how we help customers make effective decisions for them that has you create value in the business.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is so interesting. I feel like what you're essentially saying too is sort of like you're peeling back the onion of these businesses, and you're saying you might provide a service or a product, but at the end of the day, what does that service or product really do for that customer? And that's sort of their value of the why.
Exactly,
right?
Exactly that.
Wonderful. And so what are some of the things you're seeing when someone, let's say, is going through their business and they're not seeking that sort of success, and they come to you and say, Patti, I'm trying to just figure it out, and you give them these tools. What is that difference that you're ending up seeing?
Oh, it's perfect. I like to say, we'll always start with identifying who are the best customers. And most businesses have more than one, like maybe 2 to 5 target audiences, right? But it's really just identifying their best customers. And when you do that, you start understand why did they choose you? What is it they love about your business? Why did they come back? And the moment you have that, it's almost like we take for granted the value we provide, and yet that's why people are choosing us.
Yes, yes. Now you kind of touched on your book a bit. So what is the feedback that you're getting when people read the book?
Well, interesting. So the book was really written to be a guide for local businesses.
Gotcha.
So, and there's lots of examples, case studies, so real life. And what I like hearing feedback is it was easy to read.
Yeah.
Because that's important. It has to be, it's not just about a textbook.
Yes.
And then practical information. So we talk about mindsets. I talk about the absolution recipe. So your team are always focused on providing value. And the rest of the book is setting your team up to win so they can step into that purposeful role.
Yeah.
I believe for every business that your team is the most important profit driver in the business. If they're set up to win and if you take the guesswork out so they know how to win.
Yes, absolutely. Powerful stuff, Patti. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and giving us insight into what you do and your book as well and how you're helping businesses.
Thank you, Jessica. Such a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful. For more information, head to pharmacysuccess.com.